Hey, what's going on, guys? Silver Cyclops here, back with another video. And in this video, we're looking at preserved pastures, but not the normal preserved pastures as you know it. There's actually a lot more to this map than you might think. And a huge shout out to Nataliris for helping me get all this information and getting into these spots and helping me record. So without further ado, let's hop straight into the video. You know the last objective of Preserved Pastures? Well, of course you do. It's the one that everyone loves. The one where you push the two gargs and try to take out the pickle. Well, it looks like PopCap may had a different approach when they were first making this map. Well, when you look at that, the pickle from the last objective, but in a totally different, untextured area that we have never seen before. When I first saw this, I was pretty surprised, and I thought it was actually really cool that this was on the original map. And I think this is why Xbox and PS4 have some very bad rendering in times, as it would make the most sense because this is it's in the map, but it's on a totally different side of the map, making it so you still have to render this in when you're first loading in. But as we can see here, they still have the normal plant spawns and everything, but it's more enclosed, and the pickle is more in the middle of the map, where you have different sorts of sight lines and different objectives. And I think this is like a really cool idea because the last one is pretty hard to capture or defend, at least for the plants. But now with it being more open, Cactus has more sight lines, and it makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, for the zombies to still get in there, but for the plants to actually defend at the same time. But I'm really curious about exactly what this is. Looking at it, it sort of looks like the last objective. Well, it obviously is the last objective, but it looks different, or at least a very early prototype of the map. You still have the same sort of bridge, but some of the parts are definitely different in ways where you have different sorts of sight lines. But I'm just really curious, and I want to hear what you guys think as well. Put it down in the comments, let me know. But let's move on to another side of the map. Well, here we are on a totally different side of the map, looking at something that looks a little bit more finished, in my opinion. This looks more like it could have been a Team Vanquish map, or maybe even a PvE region that was totally unfinished. But we can see that the mountains are still floating up in the air because they're only seen by the main part of the map. So I'm not really sure what this could be unless it was very early development. But it's so crazy to me that they put in this much effort to scrap something, just like they did with Iceberg Lettuce and Berry Brigade, some of the older characters, and just other things that we have seen in the game, like all the legendary upgrades that got scrapped. By the way, if you want to see footage of those things, I could totally do that for you guys. But I think it's really crazy that they put this much detail into something that's not even seen by the public, and it's still here on the map. Like, if you were on console and you found a way to glitch out of bounds and not get restricted by the border, you could get here. It is still here. And it's very crazy to me that they put this much time and effort. I don't know if COVID was what put it down, or once they announced that the game was dying. I'm not sure what it was that really made them decide, hey, we're going to cancel this part of the map and this isn't going to be here. This could have been for the original map, actually, but it doesn't really look like it's like that. It looked like something where they would put characters that you would interact with, as it's just so open. There's not really any place to hide like normal sightlines. But like I've said several times, it's very detailed, and I can't get over the fact that they just took this and threw it away. This game really had a lot of potential, and I don't understand why they did a lot of their decisions. And it's really crazy just to think that they took this all away and never seen it. I wonder if we could get some form of recognition for this, if we could figure out a way to ask a dev what it was. But knowing that this whole BFN project is down the drain, we could probably still get some form of confirmation as it's dead, but at the same time, I don't know. The devs haven't really responded to much, but there has been some instances where we have seen scrap stuff from GW2, such as Imitator, and the devs come out and say, oh yeah, this was for that, and when it got scrapped and stuff, which I think is very cool. So we might get some form of reach on that. But there's no really promises, and the only way I could really think about reaching out to them is through Twitter. So I might make a tweet about this, and if I do, make sure to follow my Twitter, link down in the description, but we'll see. But I do find this place just absolutely stunning. I think Preserved Pastures was one of the most appealing maps on the eyes. Taurus looked really good too, but this map was just, it was great, and I find it just, like I've said 10 times, just crazy that they took this all away. And I'm really curious what it could be. But enough of me talking, let's look at some other spots of the map. And this is the last part of the map that sort of has stuff. As we can see to the left over there, that was the Z-Tech factory, which I think is really cool. They actually included this on like every single map. If you look very closely, you can actually see it from Preserve, which I think is really cool. There's nothing inside of it. I've already checked. But over here, we have some very unfinished buildings that we actually saw in the other part. I wonder if this was more of a developer's playground where they learned to sort of texture their stuff and show other developers maybe that were coming on board what they were sort of doing and how to do it, and they just left their stuff here. I'm not too sure, but I find it pretty cool that they just left all this stuff here for us to interact with and look at. But yeah, I literally have no clue what this could be, and I'm curious for any of you guys that were in game design what you could think this could be. Just some random stuff that they left. But without further ado, this is probably going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really curious what you all think this is and how crazy it was that this all just went away. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.